Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. Welcome to the team selection video for Game Week 23. In this video, I'm going to talk about my transfers that I intend to make for Game Week 23. Also, I'm going to talk about captaincy and how that affects the next few game weeks. So thanks for those who have subscribed already. Make sure you do if you haven't. Make sure you hit that like button. And in the meantime, let's get on with it. So this is how I finished Game Week 22. I got another green out, which was great. Moved up to the top, inside the top million. It's not fantastic, but you know what? I've had 4 green arrows in the last 4 weeks, so I'm pretty happy the way things have turned around since the World Cup finished. Kepa's been brilliant for me, 10 points. I captained Rashford. I do still have all my chips. I didn't play him a triple captain. Hindsight, that would have been a good idea to do it on Rashford, but I don't ever think I really fully considered it. Even though Rashford's in great form, potentially the best form of any player in Europe, I just don't completely have faith in Rashford scoring. So I haven't gone to it. It wasn't really a consideration. It was on the table, not gone for it. I just think there might be better options elsewhere. That may come back to burn me because 20 points I think I'll definitely settle for on a captaincy, a triple captaincy. Elsewhere, not many return. Cucurella got another clean sheet, which was great. Luke Shaw picked up 6 points, even though that was across 2 games with the assist. Apart from that, I have Kane. He's done really well. I suppose the only other real positive for me this week was, even though he didn't get any points for me, is that Somerville's back. He also got an assist in the Man United game. So hopefully now he can start playing. And I really will enjoy having him at 4.2 as an enabler and someone I can actually bring off the bench and use. He's going to be important. And that also is going to be important for me in Game Week 25. So all in all, 81 points. Pretty happy with it. Let's see how we set up for Game Week 23. So this is how my side sets up for Game Week 23 then. There's obviously a double game week with Arsenal and the Manchester City game being played on Wednesday. Arsenal have a great fixture against Brentford, and the plan has always been, right from the start, maybe Game Week 21, 22, when this double game fixture looked likely, I didn't have the Arsenal players in. I brought in Ben White a couple of weeks ago. He's been okay. He's not done brilliantly, not kept a clean sheet for me yet, but it was all really in mind with the blank double 25 when I knew Arsenal were going to play, and also the fact they've got this double in 23. Arsenal players are a team that I've just ignored since the World Cup, to my peril, because they've really got 4 goals against Brighton and then really hurt me in that way. Recent times, not so badly, but I now desperately need to bring those in. So I've got 2.3 in a bank, 2 transfers, and the intentions always were to bring in Weghorst last week because I had the luxury, I felt, of not really having much else to have to do with my side. And so Weghorst came in for a bit of a 1 week hit with those double game week Man U had. Did not work out. He didn't produce the goods for me. But he was always going to come out. Nketiah was going to come in. And so was Odegaard. I'm on blanks in 25, even though he has a good fixture in Game Week 23 away at Bournemouth. But I think just for the money, I don't want to get rid of De Bruyne. Rashford, I want to keep as well for the Leeds game. He's just on fire. And I haven't got the money to go for Andreas or Somerville up to Odegaard. Ideally, I think I'd want to go to Saka, but I haven't got the cash for that. This still gives me 0.2 in the bank. I've got the double game week players now with Odegaard, White and Nketiah. The fact that Arsenal have double in 25, I know they play in 28. Perfect time to get the 3 players in. I think those are, I'm not, like I said, I prefer, I think, to have Saka in, possibly as well. Gabriel would be a better option, or even Saliba at the back. But White is who I've got. He's a cheaper option. Not too worried about him not playing. I think, yes, he could lose some minutes at some point. Tomiyasu, I'm just going to have to play that by ear. Man City obviously have the double. I've got them on double game week. I've got 3 of them. And I think the captaincy just has to go on Haaland. I could go Odegaard. I think I'm just going to go Haaland. It seems obviously at home to Villa is enough for me. And even away at Arsenal, Man City just have that pedigree, don't they? And Haaland is just more likely to score than I think anyone else on the pitch. Has to be Haaland. If that Villa game at home is enough, put on top of it, Man City to Arsenal away, a bit trickier, but he will play in both games, so I'm happy to go for that. Even my bench causes me a bit of a headache. I've got now all 4 players playing, which is great news. Andres possibly at home to Forest will be on the bench as my first option. I just don't know if I can trust the Chelsea offence enough to double up on Kepa and Cucurella. So that will give me 0.1 in the bank. That side looks really set up. And the nice thing about this side is I think it really sets up well for Game Week 24. We're looking forward to the double Game Week 25 when Arsenal again will have the double. I've got to look at the fact that blanking in this week would have Newcastle, Manchester United blanking. Those are the only 2 teams that would concern me. I've got Trippier there, Shaw there, and Rashford. But I'm just going to hold those players, I think, for Game Week 24, roll a transfer, that will give me 2 for 25. Then I can decide what am I going to do. What am I going to do with the likes of Shaw? I've got a good bench, but will they all play? Just unsure at this moment in time. Luke Shaw possibly will want. I won't want to keep hold of. His fixtures don't look great longer term. And I've been caught in a trap, I think, in the past of just having too much money invested in some players and reluctant to let go of them because of that money. I need to get that out of my head, really, and just know that points is all that matters, not how much money I get at the end of the season. So Luke Shaw may be a candidate to go. Also, will give me a chance to look at James. If he's getting more minutes, how can I get him in instead of Cucurella? But the options as well with Brighton possibly doubling later on in Game Week 26 or 27. We'll look at that. By the time Game Week 25 comes around, may have a better idea as well who's going to be playing in Game 28. But you've still got to wait for those FA Cup fixtures to be resolved. So hopefully I'm just going to roll the transfer in 24 and things look pretty positive for that for the next 2 weeks. But I've got my 3 Arsenal. I've got my 3 Man City. I'm pretty happy with the way that is set up. That's all for this one then. Let me know in the comments below who you intend to transfer or bring in for Game Week 23. Is the captaincy as straightforward as I'm suggesting with Haaland, or do you have different plans? Any players that you think I've completely overlooked that I should be going for? In the meantime, we'll be back next week with transfer plans, watch list, team selection videos, all that good stuff. So in the meantime, have a great Game Week 23 and I shall see you on the other side.